Look where we started, and now we're here. I'm One Proper Barbarian, this is Crusader Kings 2, and we return here in 846 with Shah, some guy of Gujarat. And some guy has been the best ruler that, we could have imagined. He is badly wounded, which is why I hope that, we won't die. He's only 19 years old, he does have brothers, etc, etc, so the succession is definitely secured, but I don't like the idea of it. Now, we are so close to actually creating the Empire of Rajasthan. I would be so happy if we could get it done. For the moment, I think I'm going to focus on effectively just waiting, I suppose. I think I'm going to declare war against this fella here for these two provinces. That's 2 additional provinces inside of Rajasthan. I need to form Rajasthan, then I can create kingdoms and, hand them out to my vassals, of course. But look at that, we had 9k. We are pretty well positioned in this region. We are the dominant power, no doubt about it. Yeah, let's just go in, let's destroy them. And let's make it clear that there will be forever and ever an Asturian realm to rule this region. There you go. What a simple war yet again. What a simple but yet amazing victory this was. Ask with help managing your titles. I think we're fine. How far away am I here? 79%. I need a single additional province. And then I will be known as the ruler of rulers, the ruler of Rajasthan. That's the dream. So what we're going to do is, as always, I'm going to hand out the counties that I have to the vassals that are quite unhappy with me. I think the last province that I'm going to go for is this one right here. Let's just do a de jure claim and a jure claim on Damalpur. Let's take you out, my friend. You have no place down here, and I will show you that that is the case. Oh, are these your troops? They are. Interesting. Okay, so they're already coming our way anyway. I think it's time to clean that up. Hell yeah. And there you go. I actually already imprisoned him. Wow. That is an incredibly quick fight. Now, I hold Damalpur. I don't really want to hold this. He's in my prison. Are you rebelling? I think you are. I'm gonna hand that province over to make borders a bit worse. I'm gonna hand it over to you, my dear friend. And I think I'm now in a position where I can genuinely create the empire. Right? Is this it? Yeah. I just need 2 kingdom tier titles. And that is, of course, completely fine. Let's create Punjab. I think that is a solid addition to our collection here. And then with Punjab, the Empire of Rajasthan is born, or rather, now that I think about it, man, that is elective succession. That could be quite devastating. Quite devastating. If I were to go with an Empire title and elective succession. But genuinely, I mean, people love me, so why wouldn't they vote for me? You know what, let's just do it. Screw it. I don't have any qualms on this. If I lose the Empire title, which is very unlikely, then so be it, but I don't even see it happening. Shahanshah, some guy of Rajasthan, is in control. And there you go. This is the dream. Genuinely, this is the absolute dream. If I give you Punjab, that would make you very powerful, and nobody approves, really. Let's resort the realm, shall we? Alright, so here's the drill. Here's how it's going to go. Let me explain this in full. I went full in on council authority for, the purpose of the vassal limit, but as you can see now, I have summed it up just a tiny little bit. It's still very chaotic, forgive me for that, but what we're looking at is essentially 2 kings, then a couple of dukes. I might institute more kings, I'm not quite sold on that yet, but what I need to do is, I need to rule for 10 years, and I need to be in a position where council authority goes back to being limited, because then I can actually switch away from elective monarchy. Elective monarchy in this case is a bit it's just horrible because it's so many voters. I don't really have the opportunity to take any influence on it, as far as it matters. What I will do is, I will switch this to limited authority right now. Then later on we're going to go to the late authority, or rather to the late administration. And with the late administration I will unlock Ultimogenitor, which then allows me to simply keep the Empire of Rajasthan in my family forever and ever and ever. So that's essentially what we're going to do here. I'm quite excited for that. I think that's really the right step at the end of the day. I don't want you to owe me, or rather I don't want to owe you any favors. Thank you very much. So let's make sure that this passes, and then we're gonna have a good future ahead of us. I just need to survive for a couple of, months, years, decades, and then we'll be fine. And there you go, the law has been approved, of course. And now let me just ask, I can't pass the administration law. No, I cannot. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. 852, and then I can change the law. For the moment, of course, if I were to die, I would lose Rajasthan, but I think we'll be fine. Don't you sweat it. If I create more kingdom tier titles, if I'm not mistaken, I would just see, interesting. Oh, you can vote in it, right. Of course you can, because you're technically a part of it. Oh, that's just ridiculous. This is actually perfectly fine, though. Like, I'm looking at this, and I think we will have a a perfectly fine realm if I just live for a couple of years. And would you look at that? With everything that we have done, with everything that the good emperor, the Shahanshah, some guy of Rajasthan has done, we can finally make our way into Catan. And that is so important because we of course need Catan, and we need to face at some point the Western Protectorate, taking them down. I hate that they're stable, because that of course means that they will get more troops in comparison to when I attacked them if they were to be, you know, what's it called, in unrest situations. But we can at the very least make it up there and hope that they become, you know, a bit of a you know, destroyed plight once we get up there. I will force vassalize this fella, and we're gonna make sure that we come out victorious. This should be fairly easy. I am of course making money, seeing as I'm never, you know, ever using my own troops. I'm only using vassal troops, and we are making tremendous progress here in retaking the lands of our ancestors. Very, very nice. And there you go. This war of course was not a challenge. I am now the dominant power in this region. And my borders, I'll admit, look incredibly odd, but that is okay. Again, remember, we need Transoxiana, we need Catan, we need Kashmir, we need Punjab, we need Delhi, we need Rajputana. I think those are the ones that we need. We have Punjab in completion. We do not have Kashmir or Delhi for that matter, but I think we can get those in time. It's just a question of essentially truces running out, right? I think we'll be perfectly fine. And now my question is, you hate me, right? Why don't I simply transfer you underneath this fella here? Actually, I'm going to transfer you under the other king, because I think he's, yeah, considerably less powerful. I'm going to give you Varma. There you go. Now I don't need to deal with him, and you are slightly weakened because you are now over the vassal limit. Can I go on and destroy you? That's the big question. I can go for a holy war, and that is effectively everything, so we shall go for a holy war. It's going to be tough. I'll be honest with you, I'm looking at this right now and I see the Western Protectorate. They have also actually entered a golden age. It is going to be tough. Don't be fooled. Taking Catan in full is going to be almost impossible. I mean, I don't know, man. I feel threatened by the entire situation there, especially, again, with the Golden Age. We'll see how it goes, but for the moment, I mean, we are the masters of our own fate. And would you look at that? This is absolutely gorgeous. Can I create Catan, just for the record here? I cannot create Catan. That's such a shame, because if I could create Catan, I most certainly would. Because doing that would make it so that I could actually hand all of this stuff out to this fella. And you know what? Honestly, I'm looking at this. I might just hand this land over to you. If I'm going to create a king up here, wouldn't that be beneficial to all of us? I think it might be, honestly. I'm going to create this duchy, and then I'm going to hand it over to this guy, who I am sure will have a grand time with it. You get Kashgar. There you go. Beautiful. Very, very nice. And then I'm going to declare this war, and I'm going to then lend all of the land that I just conquered to the man up here in Catan. A Saka person, you know, they understand us, we understand them, everything makes sense. Alright, and what we're going to do right now is I'm going to switch the administration here, of course, to late, because by doing this, and you can see we have the support, by doing this we will be in a position of actually changing our succession law to something absolutely excellent, and that, in my opinion, is the dream. Because everything else is a bit too unstable, as far as I'm concerned. Now let me just check this. I should be able, if I'm not mistaken... Oh, I would even be able to switch to primogenitor. Well, I mean, it doesn't really matter to me, but either way, we're going to switch to one of these two. Seniority might also actually be a cool idea. I think I'm going to go with seniority now that I'm looking at this. Yeah, that sounds adequate. I'm going to sort this. Let's just finish this war real quick. Beautiful. Once I'm at peace, once none of my vassals are fighting each other, etc., etc., it will be a tremendous situation for us. And now I think it's time to create the Kingdom of Catan and hand it over to our Saka friend up here. Give me a moment, there you go. I would like to grant you the Shardom of Vamna. There you go. You're a king now. Be happy with it. An elective king for that matter, I suppose, but you are a king now. Very, very nice. Isn't our realm beautiful? It's almost poetry, quite frankly. And would you look at that? You have become a Sunni Bedouin empire, like you always do. I look over here every time, and I am every time disappointed. Well, either way, that doesn't really concern us. What concerns me is that in 5 years I can change our succession law, then we will be in a good state. But before we do that, let's just go to war with a couple of people here, because we can, of course, push into this land and make sure, you know, that we actually take all of the Indian, or rather the Northwest Indian subcontinent over. And that is the dream, at least from my perspective here. Now, the way I see this, I think long term we have to prepare for going against China, because at the end of the day that's exactly what we do, right? That is kind of in the cards for us here. Everything else isn't really feasible, or rather, if it is feasible, it's not something that I want to achieve, because we don't need to go over to the west, we don't need to go over to the east. I don't care about any of those. All I care about is indeed Delhi, Kashmir, Punjab, Rajputana, Kashmir, Transoxiana, and Vamna. And I think I said Kashmir twice, but you know what I mean. So let's just clean up the mess that we actually have to clean up instead of blobbing somewhere where we don't need to be. We are, of course, the leading regional power. And there you go, as always, a very clear victory, and as always, I can hand everything out and keep all of my vassals very, very happy. Alright, and it is now time to actually switch the succession law. Let's enforce the realm peace here. Almost everybody agrees on that realm peace being enforced, and by actually doing this, we will be in a position where I can then, all of a sudden, change my law. And here we go, would you look at that? Everybody already ended their wars, this is fine. I think we're going to go with seniority. Seniority is honestly quite the unattractive, you know, inheritance scheme. We might go with primogeniture. You know what? I think we're going to go with primogeniture. Yeah, that's fine. Primogeniture it is. My brother, Shahzada Kvanas, will be the heir to this realm, at least, you know, as of right now. And I'm going to marry you to someone. Why don't you marry my daughter? Yeah, why don't you marry my daughter? It doesn't really hurt, right? And it does legitimize him, because then in the direct line and then the brotherly line rules over the realm after everything is said and done. And this is beautiful, because our vassals have to fight with their very own elective system, whereas we are now under primogeniture. I absolutely love it. Now, with that being said, as you can see, I have cleaned up the borders just, you know, slightly, just a tiny little bit. And everything is looking very, very excellently. For the purposes of this playthrough, of course, and I will go against this realm in our next war here. I will declare a war to force vassalize them. You're defending for Isaid Holy War for bulk. Alright, good to know. Force vassalize. There we go. Let's go and beat them up. I shall rule, and you shall rule. And there you go. The war's won. The war's over. We have an additional vassal that definitely hates me, but that I will also most certainly simply shift underneath an already existing vassal. Why don't you just take all of these and then go your merry way? Would you look at that? All of a sudden he's so much more powerful, but still very, very weak. We do have a rebellion going on down there that I, of course, need to strike down, but I think we'll be fine, all things considered. And our borders are getting closer to actually being acceptable as well. Now, again, mind you, this is now going very, very swiftly, but our enemy, our end boss, so to speak, is China. We, without a doubt, have to go against the Western Protectorate in multiple wars, if worst comes to worst, and I think that is exactly what is going to happen here. It's going to be tough, it's going to be difficult, because we simply do not have the numbers that you would have at, for example, you know, a later start date, that sort of stuff. None of those things are present in our opportunities here. And hello, my daughter, would you like to marry... Sure, just marry this guy. Honestly, I don't care. What I care about is that we have a large family, so that there will always be someone to inherit, instead of the situation that we had in the last couple of generations, you know? And I think it is time that we clash with China, while not directly, at least clash with China's sphere. I think what we're going to do is we're going to declare war here for Croran. I want to go for that, because, you know, we need to go for both, obviously, since this is all part of Vamna, which is technically not called Vamna. It's technically Catan, of course, but we're going to go against it. And we're going to try and take it down. Now, I'm pretty sure that they cannot call in the Protector General, at least as far as I'm concerned, and as far as I'm aware. Let me just check here. Tributary provides. Might break, can call tributary into wars, so that's not the right way. Tributary cannot refuse, can fight other... We should be fine. I think they can raise an honor guard by the Chinese, of course, but that should be about it. And, I mean, that just means that we are going to make a huge landfall up here in Catan, finally taking one huge chunk of what we need to take, and I can only hope that we will actually succeed in this, eh? And now that we have become exalted among men, I think it is time that we do indeed forge a bloodline. Look at this. We can remain as the first, I think, actually, good king. You know, I was about to say one of the earlier good kings, but I think we're going to be, like, essentially the first and probably only good king of our dynasty and realm, seeing as we actually founded Rajasthan. We brought peace to the region. And we look at that. Wow, it's already done, huh? Wait a minute. Why is that? Which opportunities did we fulfill? Win 15 foreign wars. Well, there you go. After my most recent victory, I have reunited my most trusted commanders to discuss our future military campaigns. Through my skill and dedication, I have earned the loyalty of my armies and immortalized my name as one of the great conquerors of our time, one who emerged triumphant from countless battles. Attracts wandering knights, bards, and damsels, the White Knight, or the Bloodhound. I really like the Bloodhound, actually. The mounted troops is a bit wasted. Honestly, now that I'm looking at this, leading the center, I feel, is actually considerably I don't know. He doesn't strike me as a bloodhound, though. It is only through virtue that victory is achieved. He doesn't strike me as this either. He's very arbitrary. You know what? Greater battles await us yet. He is ambitious. So I'm going to get wrath and be a bloodhound. The warlord from Mohaddavasaka. Scarcely any ruler bordering Rajasthan sleeps well at night, tormented by the dreams of conquest of their terrible neighbor. Yeah, that sounds about accurate. Shahanshah Samgai has carved a blood-soaked path through the lands of Rajasthan, earning the fame of a ruthless and fearsome warrior. None is safe from his reach, and it is hard to say if this thirst for conquest will ever be satisfied. A cunning and relentless commander, he has overseen countless victories on the battlefield and acquired immortal glory for himself, as well as all of his descendants. Very, very cool. And would you look at that? We have done it. We have destroyed our enemies here in the north as well. I think I'm immediately gonna kind of chain war this by going to war against Crusade. I'm not that scared about the Chinese, at least not at the moment. I have a decent chunk of money, you know, pocket change. I also have a decent amount of troops, although, of course, those troops are of low quality in comparison to the Chinese ones. But we're doing quite well. We are probably actually looking at, you know, maybe 2 or 3 more episodes. I don't think that this is going to be that much longer. I hate this map. The only thing that worries me, and I think it worries me for a very good reason, is that we still need to face China. And facing China is something that I'm not incredibly sure I can do. I'm looking at this, right, and the way I see this, we have money, we have troops. I thought about investing in a retinue, but the way our empire is built, I don't really have that. Because we are a very decentralized empire, as you can see, I can't even go higher in domain, mostly because, well, we are looking at a point, of course, where everything is quartered, meaning that I will not really have the income that would be necessary to maintain a retinue. I would simply lose all of the money. So instead I'm going to use the money that we have for mercenaries whenever necessary, but this does mean that I can't have any sort of elite troop, which is, of course, quite devastating, quite frankly. The question would be, yeah, wow, this would suck. I mean, this would thoroughly suck. The negative side of this situation is effectively that we're looking at a Chinese empire, which we would have to go to war with 2 times. For this duchy and for that duchy. I don't know about that. I really don't know about that. It's not very inspiring to see, especially because they would of course come in with what, like 25,000 in terms of troops. It is devastating. Okay, so before we go for Crusade, I shall go for Fergana, even though you are against it. Can I just request council support? There you go. Let's make that happen. Going for Fergana, of course, also necessary land, because that should be Transoxiana. Indeed it is. So we're going to go for all of that, and later on for Crusade. We are going to be doing fine. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I don't have any sort of concern for our success rate. I'm just worried about, you know, one single war, and that one single war is of course China. But once we do that, or whenever we get even close to doing that, we will demolish them. I think that much should be clear to everybody involved here. There you go, Fergana is ours, just like it should be. Can I create the kingdom? Oh no, it's still in the hands of the Bayanid dynasty. That does make a lot of sense, I'll be honest with you. I think I am going to immediately chain yet another war, and this time, yeah, I think this time this war will be against the Bayanids for Samarkand, because that would be a tremendous victory for us if we could secure that location. Punjab, why are you so mad at me? Listen, I'm just gonna give you all of this stuff, okay? I don't really want it. You can have it. I'm never gonna hold on to any of this stuff because of the domain limits, etc., etc. Let's just give you this, and then I shall declare a war, holy war for Samarkand. This is a huge push into, you know, Transoxiana, a kingdom that of course we need to take control of. And while we're here, can I take all of this nonsense out? Yeah, honestly, I'm gonna take the time to take out these rebellions because they are very annoying. And there you go. What an incredibly easy victory, but I will never say no to a victory, especially if it is as incredibly easy as this one. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to hand over, yeah, look at that, he has so few troops, oh my god, that is actually embarrassing. I'm going to give this entire piece of land that we just conquered to our friend right here in Kashmir, because he is one of the weaker, if not the weakest of our vassals, and I think that is perfectly fine, perfectly reasonable as well to, you know, make him a bit weaker. And yes, I just said weaker, that isn't my mistake. When you give land to a vassal and it brings him significantly over the domain size limit or over the vassal limit, then he will suffer in numbers. So he's weak right now, but he's going to be even weaker in just a second. And I just noticed what is that? Why do I hold that? I don't... Did we build that? I think we did. I don't desire that, but you will see in a second here that he is even weaker, seeing as, you know, his troops are now significantly over the vassal limit. I really love that. It is so, so good. It is so, so good. But either way, look at that. We are not looking beautiful, but we are looking strong, because we will have a future ahead of us in which the empire that once, you know, stood tall here will be rising yet again. And let me just... I think I need to go to war against you, right? Transoxiana? Oh, nothing of this is Transoxiana, so I will not go to war against you. I don't actually need anything down here. All I need is just here in the west then, and that will be quite easy to take. Wow, I'm impressed just by how easy this is. Ayuda still exists, I suppose, but I think they're being attacked currently by the Kalon Kingdom. Yeah, there you go. Okay, they're doing a good job at cleaning up my very own borders. Okay, I don't know whether this will be successful, and quite frankly, I have my doubts. I brought this up earlier, and I'm really concerned about China. Now, they are in a golden age, meaning that I should probably not get involved. It's honestly difficult. It's so difficult for me. Because I don't want to sit here and just wait for centuries until China decides to no longer be in a golden age. But I don't know whether the golden age would completely screw me over. I'm gonna go for this de jure claim, because if I'm not mistaken, then this part should become independent after this is split off, and then, you know, Protector General Chen Yiji the Chaste dies off. At least that is the hope that I have. I will push the de jure claim. How many troops you got? 36,000? Are you crazy? May God help us. My council informs me that the treasure fleet of the Middle Kingdom has been spotted outside of the Bengal Bay, carrying a significant land force to support their outlying regions in the west. Leaning over the war table, I can only hope that my silence instills confidence in my advisors. In my own chest, I feel a mild panic rising. Yeah. You know what? I have an idea. And this isn't necessarily the smartest idea. But since their troops are down there, if I bring my troops up here and siege down everything by assaulting it, if I assault every single province down, I can still win the war. And I am feeling as though this, you know, that might be the solution. Quite honestly. I'm feeling as if that might be the solution indeed. And I'm gonna raise the troops, you know, by actual clicking here, because I can speed it up quite a bit in terms of where they spawn. Now, who did I not raise it? Yeah, look at that. Now, they're all spawning as far in the north as is humanly possible. 18,000 are going to go north. Let's see what we can do. I mean, actually, I don't want to raise you. He will definitely siege us down, and he will definitely give us some trouble. Do you have any other province? You know what? Keep your province. And keep those 600 troops. Nobody needs them. Let's check this out. Will this work? I don't know. Do I need it to work? Oh, hell yes. I definitely do. Oh my god, it actually worked. It actually worked! Would you look at that? China, we haven't fought at all. He has 33,000 troops. He definitely would have kicked my ass. He imprisoned my family. But now it's done. It's actually done. And with that, I'm 99% sure that this will split off on the death of the, you know, general right here, making it so that we are in a tremendously powerful position. Sieging him down up here was actually the perfect choice, especially considering that, well, essentially, you know, we were looking at a situation down where I could have never defended that, but where I would have had to, and wow, he really doesn't want to sell me my family. Oh man, stop imprisoning everybody, that's crazy. But at least we have, you know, a nephew, or rather a grandson actually. Right, it is a grandson, of course, born to our daughter. And this is beautiful. I mean, this is just amazing. Look at that. The Han Empire lost the war against Shahanshah. Some guy of Rajasthan, some guy has been bringing destruction to the entirety of the region. And I love it. Okay, and I think I'm literally only 3 wars away from getting this achievement. Now, I'm not entirely certain on this, but I am almost sure that I just need this, I need that, and I need... It happened. Oh my god, it happened. Okay, okay. Oh, we're going in. Oh, we are going in so goddamn hard. Let's destroy every single... Are you kidding me? I need to destroy every single one of these enemies right now. This is incredible. Would you look at that? Absolutely gorgeous, but not just that. Guga actually lost control of the territory up here because the ruler died. And now we are looking at a situation where I can abuse that by simply going all in. Here we go, look at that. We are declaring all of these wars and then the entire region is ours, meaning that I literally only need this right here. Wow, this is going so much faster than anticipated. I think this might very well be the very last we see of this playthrough. After this episode, I think we might just be done with this. Man, that's incredible. I thought especially China, you know, would take so much longer, and yet here we are. It did not take long at all. It was a matter of a couple of episodes, I guess. Just, you know, start snowballing and just go from there. And we have died. God, some guy, you were so amazing and now you're gone. That's a shame. Shahanshah, Kavanase. you are next. You don't have a bloodline, but you have the cool to make this happen, I'm sure. Does he have any ambitions? I mean, who even is this guy? Honestly, he's just an angry fella, and that's acceptable. You know, sometimes you just gotta be angry, but I will also tell you, I have great ambitions with this man. This has to be it. When I'm done with this character, we should be done with this playthrough. So I'm talking about, you know, essentially no time at all in between now and us actually solving, you know, this achievement. And I think, I mean, we're making our way there. I do have a son, so that's quite nice. Means that I don't need to worry about inheritance in any way whatsoever. Let's take this stuff down. Let's finish this war. And then let's call it a day, shall we? Bloodbag, witness me. As I take down all of our opponents, as I teach all of them a lesson, I can say only, hey, this was considerably easier than I thought it would be. I will admit that part. So I think, and I might be wrong here, there might be like a barony that I don't have under my control, you know, that sort of stuff, but I think right at this very moment, we legitimately have this. Let's just check this out, shall we? Let's go! Easy, man, easy. Aladdin, I'm coming for you. Alright, and now that everything is said and done, let's take a quick look at the world. It's honestly not too interesting. The Byzantines have turned entirely iconoclast, as you can see. For some reason, I mean, actually, there's, you know, it's not just for some reason, but the Umayyads have existed the entire time. They are, of course, Sunni, and they might even be the Caliph at this point. Yes, they are the Sunni Caliph. They took it over after the Abbasids fell, of course. Then we have Sunni Aztecs, because why not, I guess. The Picts are pretty cool. Pictland is still Pictish, and they are Lollard. All of them are Lollard. That is quite cool. I really like the idea of like a Celtic, you know, heresy up here that is actually quite established. Then we have, well, Denzians. I'll be real with you, the map isn't all that interesting, and the reason is that, well, quoted domain limit is something that we shall never play again in CK2. As you can see, here the religion's nothing too special. We are, of course, spreading, you know, Nestorianism, but that's about it. Culture-wise, I don't think enough time passed to do anything interesting here. Yeah, I'm looking around, I can't see anything. I think it's just time to call this a day, eh? And with that, the second to last, the penultimate series in Iron Man and CK2 on this channel comes to an end, and I would like to thank the members of the channel, namely the Barons Aaron, Stefan, the Richest T, Snywolf, Thomas, Mitchell, MFA, Florian, Dan, the Murcielago, Jacob, Rex Romanorum, Falling Phoenix, Eterna, then also of course the Counts, Shifty, Wombat, Kazan and Lachlan, and last but not least the absolutely beautiful Dukes, Suspicious Dark, Nathan, Jack, Kenneth, Lexo, Goodfield, Eric, Aiden, and Kiriana. Thank you all so much for supporting the channel. The next series, which is going to be Aladdin, the last Iron Man series on this channel, will start on Monday. See you then. Later, alligator.